Hello, grade 10. How are you? Hope you all doing well. Today we're going to take grammar from unit 10. We're going to take verb patterns, okay? When we're going to use an ing form and when can we use infinitive form? Let's see. Okay, now we have to know new verb patterns. We have ing or infinitive form. A few verbs can be followed by both the gerund and infinitives with a difference in meaning. So, here you can find four verbs. We have remember, stop, regret, and forget. These verbs, we use them with an ing form, okay? When we use remember, forget, stop, or regret with an ing form, the verbs refers to things we did in the past. Okay? Let's see examples together. He does not remember switching off the oven before he left home. Okay? Here I'm talking about something happened in the past. He forgot, okay, to switch off the oven in the past. Okay, number two, I'll never forget meeting the president. It was a great honor. Okay, meeting the president for him, uh, something nice happened in the past. Number three, Sue stopped working at the library 6 months ago. And from ago, you can realize that this sentence happened in the past and she stopped working in the past. We regret leaving the match before the end. Liverpool scored 2 goals in the last few minutes. So now let's see these verbs remember, stop, regret, and forgot can be followed by infinitive forms. Yes, they can. We can say that when we use remember, forget, stop, regret with an infinitive form, they refer to things that we have to do at the moment of speaking or in the future. Do you see the difference between the ing form and the infinitive form? Let's see the examples together. Okay, example number 1. Please remember to turn off the computer when you have finished using it. So here you can find that remember, the verb remember is followed by an infinitive form of the verb turn, to turn off. Okay, so here I'm telling her to turn off the computer when she finished using it, okay, at the moment of speaking. This is happening at the moment of speaking. Number 2, do not forget to tell Mary to text me. Here I'm telling her a sentence in the future. We used the verb forgot and then we used infinitive tell, to tell. Number 3, let's stop to have a coffee. I'm telling her at the moment of speaking to stop and to have a cup of coffee. Okay? Number 4, I regret to say that the school trip has been cancelled. In this sentence, I'm regretting something not nice or bad happened at the moment of speaking. Okay? How did I know that I'm talking about something in the at the moment of speaking or in the future? Because I'm using remember, forget, stop, regret followed by infinitive forms. Okay, now we have the verb go on. What do you think? Can we use it with a continuous verb or infinitive form? Let's see. We can use go on with both, okay? If you see on the left, we can use it with ing form. It means to continue an activity. Look at the example. The rain started on Monday and it went on raining all the week. I mean it continued raining all the week. Okay? So whenever go on, the verb go on is followed by an ing form, so it means to continue an activity. Okay? But if go on was followed by infinitive form, it means to change an activity. For example, we say we discussed the company's financial situation and then went on to look at the new products. Okay, we changed from talking about the financial situation to look at the products. Clear? Okay, what about the verb try? We use the verb try with an ing form and with an infinitive form. Okay, but it has a little bit difference in meaning. When I say that it tries followed by ing form, it means to say what will happen if you do something. Let's look at the example over here. Have you tried pushing the car down the hill? It might start then. In this example, I'm telling her if she tried to push the car down, what's gonna happen? Okay? But on the other side, when I'm using an infinitive form, it means to make an effort. For example, you have to try to work harder if you want to pass your exam. For example, if you looked over here, okay, you will understand that she is telling in this sentence, you have to try to work harder if you want to pass your exams. You have to make an effort to pass your exams. Clear? So, try when it is followed by ing form, it means what will happen, okay, if you do something. But if you use an infinitive form, it means that you have to make an effort to have something or to do something. Okay, now let's look at these verbs. We have the verb hate, like, love, and prefer. These verbs can be used in both infinitive and ing forms, okay? Let's see the examples over here. I wrote here, she hates watching football. She hates to watch football. We love climbing mountains. We love to climb mountains. So these verbs can be used by both an ing form and with an infinitive form. When would is followed by verbs hate, like, love, prefer, okay, what should I do? I should use an infinitive form. For example, look at the examples here. They would prefer to eat at home. They would like to go to Chinese restaurant. So whenever you see would before hate, like, love, and prefer, so you should use an infinitive form. Clear? When can you use ing and when you should use an infinitive form? Okay, now I want you to look over here. We can use begin, continue, and start with both an ing form or infinitives form, with a little difference in meaning. Okay? So if you look to number 2, when begin, continue, and start are used in continuous form, they are followed by infinitive form. What does this mean? Let's look to number 1. Number 1 is telling us that we can use them with an ing form or infinitive form, right? Let's look to the examples down. He started running marathons when he was 15. He started to run marathons when he was 15. Okay, there is a little bit difference in meaning, but both of them are correct, and you can use both of them. On the other side, I'm telling you an important information. When I'm using begin, continue, start in continuous form, I should use after them an infinitive form. Okay, if I'm saying continuing, starting, so you have to use to after it, and then you have to use an infinitive form of the verb. I was starting to cook lunch when the electricity went off. Look at it starting over here. Here we are using it in the continuous form. Okay, I was starting. So after starting, what I have to use? I have to use infinitive. Okay, clear? Okay, now let's do the exploit exercise number 1. Okay, it says complete the sentences with the gerund or infinitive forms of the verbs. Number 1, do not forget to return my CDs tomorrow. Here we have to use after forget past form infinitive, right? Because we are talking about something gonna happen in the future, right? Now let's see exercise sentence number 2. Halfway up the mountain they stopped to have a short rest. Why we said to have? Because we're talking about something happened at the moment of speaking. Number 3, he went on to talk or talking about his holiday all evening. It was so boring. For sure, we have to use I and ing. Talking. Number 4. Alice doesn't remember to lend or lending me 10 euro last week. We have to use lending because these verbs happened in the past. We're talking about something happened in the past. Okay. Number 5, we regret. Okay, to tell or telling you that you have not won the competition, we have to use to tell you, okay, because this thing is happening at the moment of speaking. Number 6, did he try to speak in a calm, relaxed voice in the interview or speaking? Of course, speaking. Did he try speaking in a calm, relaxed voice in the interview? Because I'm asking about the interview which happened in the past. Done? Let's now look at the lookout box. The verbs hate, like, love, and prefer can be followed by the gerund or the infinitive with no difference in meaning. Okay? However, when they are used with would, they are followed by an infinitive. Okay, so you can use them. The verbs after them. With an ing form or with an infinitive form. Okay, but if we used would before them, so the verb after them should be infinitive. I like reading science fiction novels. We'd like to go and see the new science fiction film. The verbs begin, continue, and start can be also followed by gerunds or infinitives with no difference in meaning also. However, when they are used in a continuous form, they are followed by an infinitive. It began raining this morning and it still has not stopped. Look at the first sentence, began raining. Number 2, when we said we are starting, what did we use over here? We said to organize, not organizing. We said to organize this year's poetry competition. Exercise number 2. Read the lookout books, choose the correct verb form for each sentence, or choose both options if both are possible. Let's see. First sentence says, what would you like to do this weekend? Of course, when you see would, you have to put after like, prefer, and the other verbs, you have to put infinitive form. You prefer to travel or traveling alone, don't you? We can use both in this sentence and both are correct. Dad hates to listen or listening to pop music. Here also we can use both of them according to the grammar we took on the lookout. Number 4, we love to cook or cooking Italian dishes. We can use both also. Number 5, I prefer to go or going to the theater. In this sentence we have to use to go because we have would. I would prefer, okay? Number 6, they were beginning to work or working when I arrived. We have to use to work because beginning is in the continuous form, so we cannot use continuous form and then use an ing form. We have to use an infinitive form. Okay, let's go to the workbook, please, and match the first exercise. First exercise says, match the verbs patterns from 1 to 6 with the definitions from A to F. Okay, we have go on with ing when we can use it. Try plus infinitive with to. 3, forget, regret, remember, and stop plus an ing form. 4, try plus ing, forget, regret, remember, and stop plus infinitive with to. Go on plus infinitive with to. Okay, how can we match these sentences? Let's look to sentences from A to F to know, okay, which is the most suitable sentence for each one, okay? Okay, so 1 with C and 2 should be with F. We use try plus infinitive with to make an effort to do something. Okay? And number 3 should go with A. Number 3, forget, regret, remember, and stop plus ing with A, an action earlier than the main verb. Number 4, try plus ing with E, to do something to see what will happen. Number 5, forget, regret, remember, and stop plus infinitive with to. We have to go to be, an action at the same or a later time than the main verb. Number 6, go on plus infinitive with to. D, to change an activity or situation. Now, exercise number 2. What do we have to do in exercise number 2? We have to complete the sentences with the infinitive with to or ing form of the verbs and brackets. Let's see. It was 7 o'clock in the evening, so they stopped to eat a sandwich and have a cup of coffee. Okay. Number 2. After the break, they went on. What do you think? Pudding or to pot? Of course, pudding. Up pictures until late at night. Okay. So number 3. They tried to finish or finishing everything, but they were very tired and decided to continue the next day. To finish. Number 3, to finish. John remembered, we have number 4 now. John remembered to look or looking at the door when he left, but he forgot to close. So we have to look and we have to close, number 4 and 5. The next morning, he regretted not closing the window. Somebody had got in during the night and taking two valuable paintings. Clear? It's easy. Now we have exercise number 3. Exercise number 3 says that we have to complete the sentences with the infinitive to or ing form of the verbs from the box. We have drink, go, have, play, put down, remember, ring, and switch off. Number 1, have you tried drinking hot milk before you go to bed? That should help you. So here we used an ing form. Number two, please remember. What do you think? The computers before you leave to switch off. Please remember to switch off. Here I'm telling her something at the moment of speaking, so I have to use infinitive with to, and the suitable word over here is switch off. To switch off the computers. Number 3, if you got the job, do not forget, well, to ring me. Ring, okay? To ring me. This is something, I'm sorry, over this situation, she's telling her to tell her something gonna happen in the future. That's why we used infinitive form. Now, number 4, we have Susan remembers what? What do you think? Putting down her bag, but she does not remember picking it up. This sentence, when you read it, it seems that it happened in the past. That's why we used an ing form. Okay, so number 4, putting down. Number 5, Andy stopped playing for the team when he went to university, and this is something also happened in the past. Number 6, I tried to remember the formula for the maths exam, but I could not to remember. Number 7, I have been driving for ages now. Let's stop to have a cup of coffee. Okay, and this example is similar to the one you have in your student book. We use here infinitive because we talking about something happening at the moment of speaking. And number 8, we have we will never forget going to Rome for our honeymoon. Did you see here well? Okay, but what did we use here? We used ing, it's okay. But if it was would, you cannot. Okay? But well, no problem. Because here, over here, we have the infinitive, the base form. Okay, forget. Then after, you can use whatever you want. You can use infinitive, you can use ing. Okay? Okay, in this exercise, you have to use the words to write complete sentences. Okay, first one, Andy forgot to take his umbrella. Number 2, Harry went on to become a successful architect. Okay, went on. Number 3, Jan, we can say did not or does not regret buying the dress, and both of them correct. Number 4, during the journey, they stopped to have a break. They stopped to have a break. Number 5, Sam remembers going to Sweden all those years ago. Number 6, Chloe tried to run in the marathon once. Number 7, we forgot to take our passports. And number 8, Lisa stopped drinking cola ages ago. Now, guys, let's do exercise number 5 together. We have to complete the sentences with the infinitive form or an ing form according to the sentence. The first one says, he's continuing to play even though he's injured. Whenever you see continue, start, begin in the continuous form, they should be followed by infinitive form. That's why we use to play. Number 2, Sarah would prefer to eat because we have would to eat pasta with meat sauce. Number 3, we hate play or to play computer games or playing computer games. What do you think? In this sentence, we should say playing. Okay? We hate playing computer games. Number 4, it begin to snow or it begin snowing just after breakfast. We can use both of them. Number 5, what do you like to do or doing in your free time? And both of them are correct. We can say to do or doing. Number 6, the last sentence says, would love to see, because we have would, your paintings.